far when I'm by myself. I don't wanna hang around y'all. Pray for good health.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Combat Sports Weekly. Hope you had a really good weekend. And of course, joining me is my fellow Titos of Fighting, JC Reyes of Destroy MNL. What's up, buddy?
What's up? Monday ulit.
Ayan, kanina, prior to go, we are live, by the way. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. So please make sure to subscribe to our channels. We are live on Coach Franco's Corner on Facebook and on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're also live on MMA Davao. Para po sa inyo dyan sa mga kaibigan po natin sa Davao at sa Mindanao. Kamusta po kayong lahat dyan? Make sure that you share this live broadcast. We are going to discuss a lot of the things that happened during fight week. Hope you had a really good weekend. Nagkukwentuhan nga kami ni JC dahil if you're in Metro Manila, ghost town si Metro Manila. If you're in the provinces, parang Wednesday, everyone just decided Wednesday, let's all go out of town. Okay? Never mind na madaling araw, gabi tayo umalis. Hindi, ano tayo? Morning. Okay, hapon.
Magkalisan na lang tayo.
Diba? I saw the photos and the videos. Hey, what's up to my man RG? For your condominium needs, for your real estate and property needs, this guy is your guy. This guy is your man, RG. Message him. Okay, nako, meron na kaagad tayo. Relly Aguilar, shout out coach, shout out sa iyo. Relly, overrated si Coach Henry Hoof. Bakit walang takedown defense si Luge? We will get to that fight later.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay. Balik tayo sa aming sa aming Exodus kwentuhan kasi ako, I'm very proud. Okay, I'm very proud that I was able to drive all the way to Bicol and Sorsogon para po dyan sa mga kaibigan po natin sa Legazpi, Albay, sa Bicol region. Yan, Legazpi, Albay, Sorsogon. Okay. Thank you so much for the beauty that is your region. And of course, ang favorite kong mug na nasa screen ni JC Reyes ngayon, wala akong pake pag wala akong kape. Sakto, sabi ko sa inyo, adik kami sa kape dito kasi nagkakape rin ako right now. Okay. But this is a mug given to me by my mom. This is my thinking mug. My mom. And buti na lang din, we were able to leave at the right time kasi, kasi nakita ko yung pictures ng Wednesday, NLEX, SLEX. Grabe, Carmageddon.
Grabe yun. Dito nga sa amin sa East no Wednesday, actually Thursday morning yata, nagsimula, di ba, uso dati yung mga alay lakad. Bukod sa alay lakad this year, meron na ulit, syempre, 2 years hindi nakaganito meron na rin yung alay padjak.
Antipolo. Tama, di ba?
Meron silang ngayon alay padjak. So, ang dami-daming siklista umakyat ng Antipolo.
Tawag dito, kasi nga, it's uso biking ngayon, uso biking. Kaya tawag dito, what's up to my boy Aisen Reyes, what's up bro? Ayan, one of the mga kaibigan natin yan sa yan, this guy is a really good tech guy. So okay, marami rin. Doon sa Bicol, dami ko rin nakitang we were able to go to Cagsawa Ruins. Ang dami rin nagbabike doon. Bicol, dami naabutan ko nagbabike. Dami rin.
For sure.
Saan pa ba kami? The drive going there was okay. Kasi gabi yung biyahe namin. The drive home was horrible. Yun yung penitensya, man. As in, grabe yung drive pa uwi. As in, yun nga
May sarili ko palang penitensya.
Oo, pare. As in, kasi everyone, 'di ba? Everyone has to work ng Monday. So, yun ang yun ang uwi na araw. Buti pero parang feeling ko medyo okay pa rin yung biyahe namin pa uwi kasi we went home mga hapon na rin . So, at least kahit papaano, feeling ko yung iba kasi gagawin yan, either madaling araw or yan . So, sakto lang din. Pero sulit, it was a really, really good experience. We went to Donsol. Donsol is beautiful. Sinuwerte kami, we were able to see a lot of whale sharks. Siguro mga naka-4 or 5 kami. Sobrang swerte kasi ano may days daw 0 eh. So talaga sobrang
Swerte yung
swerte kami.
apat.
Ha?
Apat at least, ano?
Oo. Tapos sa Bicol, meron ako nadaan ng isang MMA gym. It was
Lions Den. Yung sikat dun.
Oo, Lions Den. Nadaanan ko sa may boulevard. So shout out. I mean, if you guys are tawag dito, anybody from Bicol, okay, shout out to the people of Lions Den MMA Gym. I was able to talk to some...
Remember, dyan din yung Arlan, di ba?
Arlan is in Naga.
Arlan
is in Naga.
Hindi ko alam kung tapos na yung event nila. Di ba
meron nung ano, meron nung weekend, meron. So I think ang isa lang, I mean, the guys from Arlan, I think ang alam ko lang na one of our friends, si Smooth, si Kevin Maningat, fought there. I think he won.
Oo nga daw. Balita ko na nanalo siya.
Teka lang Alam ko, tama, Arlan MMA is in Naga. Tapos, yun nga, si Lions din, I saw it in Bicol, as in Legazpi. Parang David Medri. Oh man, I'm really bad with names. Really bad. Pero he messaged me. Very, very nice guy. Susunod siguro, pag pinlano ko yung balik namin uli doon, magte-train ako with them. Will probably train with the guys there. So, pero I parang nagda-drive ako eh. Sabi ko, puta, may gym dito. Sabi ko, nakakatuwa naman. May gym dito. Nakakatuwa siya.
Sa bandang Bicol, as far as I know, ang solid talaga nila dyan is Muay Thai. Yung jits, medyo dyan yung controversial na jits before.
Sino yun yung fake black belt?
Ako.
Reyamico, si Rhea.
Yan. Yan. Ganyan sa area na yun eh.
Pero hindi.
Buti na lang din after that, nagkaroon na ng DefTac. May DefTac sa Bicol, alam ko eh. And
I'm not sure kung meron pa ngayon. Pero I think they're establishing, parang inaayos pa yung inaayos yan eh. Teka lang Ano ba yung So Arlan is in Naga. I got Lions Den in ano to RG? Paano saan sa Bicol? We went to nasa Legazpi kami. So Legazpi sa Legazpi kami nagstay, pero we drove to Sorsogon for the whale shark sa Donsol. We went to Donsol. Kasi akala mo nagjo-joke sila na parang, sir, yung mga butanding dito, sinlaki ng bus. Akala ko nagjo-joke sila until I actually saw one. Dude, as in, mas malaki pa sa bus yung nakita ko. So, merong sakto mga mid-size, like the ones I see, like the ones you see in Oslob. Pero meron talaga, dude. Hindi sila nagbibiro. Sinlaki ng bus or mas malaki pa sa bus.
Ibig sabihin, the marine life in that area is good.
Medyo kinabahan na ako kasi akala ko dive down siya. Parang sabi ko, parang umaangat yung katawan Sabi ko, teka. Medyo lalayo nga ako dito. Medyo nakakatakot. Dude, pero it was a very, very overwhelming experience. Pero it shows you how small we are in this ecosystem, as in grabe, as pare, wala akong masa. And the food was good. And then people were very, very nice.
Dyan, diba?
Ano?
Puro spicy food mostly dyan, Bicol eh.
Hindi, okay lang din. Parang rin iba-iba rin Iba-iba rin talaga eh. Pero siya, yung Bicol Express, the whole Bicol Express thing, as in, like, everyone has it. I'm not sure. Pero when I was there, I was like, okay. Sakto lang. Sakto lang siya. Marami sila mga kakanin. Oo,
everywhere.
marami sila. Oo, marami sila mga kakanin.
Ah,
Um, we were
magulay din
able
kami.
to eat native lechon. Grabe
Mhm.
'yun. Grabe 'yun. Iba pag lutong
Tuesday
bahay, iba
weekend
pag
pala.
dude, wild. Wild. As in, ang saya-saya niya. Teka lang, Inaano ko pa, eh. Everyone, if it's not too much to ask, please share this live
Oo,
broadcast
please.
to any of your or any of the combat sporting events na or any combat groups na that you're in. Let's
Mhm.
spread natin yung good combat sports content and as much as possible din naman kasi we want to promote uh the combat sporting scene sa Pilipinas, especially the
Yes.
fighters. Kasi
Yes.
it's very very important that fighters get the limelight of, and this is the major reason why we're doing this.
Mhm.
Anyway, so let's get to the action. Medyo napahaba lang yung aming catch up ni JC.
Oo.
So speaking of Naga and Arlan MMA event, yes, thank you so much Coach Gabay.
Mhm.
Kenneth Maningat won via RNC. Kenneth
Oo nga.
Maningat is from The Incredible Gym MMA. So congratulations to Kenneth Maningat. He won via rear naked choke. This guy has been very, very active in the local MMA scene. One thing that I
Mhm.
really prescribe and encourage to all local fighters is wag kayong mamili ng tournament, 'di ba? If you're an
Oo.
amateur, 'di ba? If you're an amateur, you want to build your portfolio, you want to build your career as an professional MMA fighter, go to as many
Yung mga
tournaments
natives
as you
and the
can.
pros, huwag kayong
Oo,
mamili. You need as
as
much
in
competition as
yeah,
you can
patulan niyo
muster.
lahat kasi ako ginawa ko 'yan, eh. Inikutan ko lahat, boxing, Muay
Mm.
Thai, MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, submission, grappling tournaments, lahat. Any tournament that I could get hold on, I could join,
Mm.
I would join. As in, kaya rin siguro I was very familiar with the community because
Mm.
I joined as many tournaments as I can. Wala akong pinili. As in, I wanted to make sure na, 'di ba? I could tell myself na wala akong inatrasang tournaments kasi lahat ng tournaments na
Oh,
available
yeah.
during the time that I was active, sinalihan ko lahat. So, it's good for your experience. So, one thing that you can pattern this is yan. Um, the Incredible Gym MMA that's in Cavite, headed by Rolando Gabriel. His boys have been very very active. They've been tearing up
Oh.
the scene. John Michael Ornido, um, and then si Kenneth Maningat, and then si Ruel Panales. Rolando Gabriel D is also slated to fight in South Korea sa next
Next
card ng
next
Brave.
next
Oh,
malapit na, eh. Alam ko malapit na yung laban
malapit
nito,
na. This
eh.
April yan. Okay?
Mhm.
Yes, Coach Gabay, that's very, very true. Dami palaro ng PMAF, the Philippine
Oo.
MMA Federation, acid test for all the amateur and aspiring MMA
Mhm.
fighters. Speaking
And
of the
speaking of
PMAF,
Coach Gabay nga pala, may upcoming siya na he'd want us to be there too. Yung Match Without Strangers coming soon. Grappling tournament yan. It's gonna be good.
nice, that's good. Finally. Okay. And
Mm.
si Coach Gabay, ano to he's one of the guys who's been silently I mean he's not a fan of fanfare, pero he's one of the
Yeah.
guys that's just been supporting the MMA and the jiu-jitsu community. Yan, nagpapa-tournament, nagtuturo, 'di ba? Striking protocol. I think I saw a post na he finally like for me it's about damn time na nagba-branch out siya to regional teaching ng striking protocol, 'di ba?
Oh, yeah,
Tama
yeah.
ba? Parang meron ako nakitang post, eh. Not sure.
Yeah.
Coach Gabay, tignan mo,
Actually,
if I'm
before
talking
the whole
shit, parang
pandemic,
please correct me if I'm wrong. Parang may nakita
Cebu.
akong post, eh, na magtuturo
Mhm.
na siya provincial
Yeah,
Oo,
Cebu and
dapat
Sigeao.
kailangan oo, we need more of that. We need ayan,
Yeah.
Cebu. Yeah, we need more of that. We need more of that. We need really, really good instructors. And for
Mhm.
you to have and for you to produce really good instructors, it needs good instruction.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
uh here's the thing. It's one thing to be a fighter, it's one thing to be a coach.
Mhm.
Between the two, both are hard, pero it's a different animal to teach. Kasi you
Yeah.
have to use words,
Mahirap.
you have to use action. You have to communicate things properly.
You
Kasi
have to be really patient din.
you
Pag
have
hindi
to be
makuha yung
patient.
estudyante mo yung tinuturo mo.
100%. You have JC's super right. You have to be patient. Kasi ano yun eh, you have to visually and verbally communicate techniques, di ba? And concepts to students, di ba? Or to aspiring coaches in the hopes, hindi pa garantisado to, in the hopes na gagawin nila yung tuturo mo, di ba? So again, my co-host here is and Karl is also a proud product of Striking Protocol. I'm very happy to see that they're also branching out na. Oy, other provinces, please get in touch with Brawlers Lab or Coach Gabay for Lales. Okay, if you need, kasi iba yung sexy boxing eh. Walang masama doon eh. Okay? Pero kung gagawin mo lang din yun, gawin mo na ng tama. Kasi I'm seeing a lot of boxing gyms, 'di ba? If you're boxing for fitness, that's fine. Pero 'di ba, might as well do it properly, 'di ba? So there are a lot of good boxing coaches. You got Elorde, you got Tiger City, 'di ba? Tiger City, Coach Tex Gonzaga, one of the I personally vouch for Coach Tex Gonzaga. You got Elorde Southbox, 'di ba? They have active fighters na talagang, 'di ba, sila Coach Rush Campana, 'di ba? We have a wealth of striking coaches sa Pilipinas. You have the Muay Thai Association of the Philippines. May contingent na tayo for SEA Games. Okay? Team Bagsik, we are with you. We will support you all the way. Tapos nakikita ko lang din na sana we could, especially when I travel to provinces, I just really hope that we grow especially the jiu-jitsu, okay, the wrestling jiu-jitsu. Kasi boxing, Muay Thai, medyo marami tayong talent sa probinsya eh, di ba? Wrestling, jiu-jitsu. I really hope that LGUs see the value of these sports, the sports that we're talking about, to develop young talent. Kasi we could create world champions here.
May jiu-jitsu tsaka wrestling, ano?
Yun nga eh, di ba? We need those. Kasi, we're a talent-rich country. Ang dami nating kailangan lang talaga ma-develop yung program na yun. And we're nothing short of time and resources. Ano lang talaga, political will, decision-making ng mga LGUs. Sabihin mo, if you're in the province, okay, mabagal ang oras sa probinsya. Yun yung observation ko. Bagal sa probinsya. You have all the time to train. Okay? You have all the time to train. Okay? Teka, I'm trying to look for the name of the coach ng Lions din eh. Bait dito eh. Nawala na. Ayan, Dante Madrideo. Yan, Dante Madrideo. Okay? If you're in Bicol, okay, if you're in Legazpi, there's a gym. Okay? There's an MMA gym right there in Legazpi. Go to that gym and train. Di ba? Siyempre, forgive the limitations, di ba? Forgive the limited resources in terms of talent and in terms of instruction, pero at least the basics are there. You have an idea of what's going on. So let's develop that talent, 'di ba? Let's develop that. Paulit-ulit lang naman 'yan eh. And then have experts, okay, fly them there. Okay? Ano 'yan eh? Kayang-kaya 'yan lalo na sa provinces. Kasi malalakas tao doon, 'di ba? They have all the time in the world. Ang napapansin ko lang talaga, kayo, whoever's watching and listening, what do you think is one of the major hurdles, okay, problems, why? Okay, bukod sa finances, okay? Bakit hindi nag-grow sa probinsya yung mga sport na sikat dito sa Metro Manila, 'di ba? Sabihin natin yan, 'di ba? Pera aside, kasi ako nakikita ko lang one of the observations I see is culturally, okay? Culture and social construct na sa probinsya kasi, lalo na pagdating sa grappling or sa jiu-jitsu, we have to manage egos. There's still this machismo thing, especially in the provinces, na ayaw magpatalo.
Weird nga eh. Parang nag-fade for some reason kasi if I remember right, 10 years ago, sabi mo, ang tagal na natin nakakita sa mga fiesta ng boxing matches. Pero 10 years ago, may ibang mga provinces who did MMA matches sa fiesta. Tapos bigla na lang nawala.
Biglang
Hindi ko alam
nawala,
kung
di
ano
ba?
nangyari.
Di ba?
Yeah,
I mean,
sayang.
may hotbed ng ano eh. You got Bacolod, you got
Yeah.
Cebu, you got Davao.
Oo.
Kaya ako tuwan-tuwa ako that Arlan MMA is doing their promotions, 'di ba? They're doing they're doing their best to produce talent. Kasi for example, nag-referee ako sa URCC Bacolod, ang daming talent doon Hindi
Oh, yun.
ang daming magagaling na fighters doon. Okay? So I just really hope na may gap somewhere. 'Di ba? There's a gap na we have to bridge that, 'di ba? When you go to Boracay, there's Legacy Boracay. Si Doc Vince has been helping grow the
Davao.
MMA community in Davao or at least in Mindanao, 'di ba? Ano yan? I really think it's possible. We just have to manage expectations, set real goals, achievable goals, and ano yan feeling ko kasi people have to understand the process. Diba? Parang feeling ko people have to understand the process na hindi to instant Hindi ka basta-basta gagaling. You really have to devote time. Kasi
parang iba kasi akala nila you train wrestling or jiu-jitsu for 3 months, okay na. Imposible.
Oo, hindi hindi ganun So hopefully we get to makita natin yung questions that need the answers. And people communicate better. Nakakatuwa nga. I see the jiu-jitsu scene in Bacolod. Like for example, Bacolod. I'm seeing like 2 or 3 gyms there already. I'm very happy when I see that. Kasi we need that Kailangan natin ganoon. Kasi pag nag-grow yung community, may iwasan mo rin yung mga taong tulad ni Reyami ko di ba? Di ba? May iwasan mo yung ganoon na may fake black belt na ganoon that will take advantage of them. So and it's when you go to provinces now, it's not like province. The vibe is provincial, diba? Pero they're not short of modern technology. They're not short of the modern amenities, diba? So congratulations to Kenneth Maningat for winning via RNC. People from Arlan MMA, if you have the results, please send them over so that we can announce the winners. And balik tayo dito sa ni Elijah, ni Relly Aguilar, okay? Henry Hoof is a striking coach, okay?
Yeah. He was a
so he's talking about,
legend.
diba? He's talking about the recent UFC fight night, okay? So notable mentions, okay, Miguel Baiza, okay, TKO's Andre Fialo, TKO's Miguel Baiza, Caio Boralo, decisions Gadzi Omar Gadziev, and then the main event, Bilal Muhammad, decisions Vicente Luge. Your thoughts? Were you able to watch this fight, JC?
Oh yeah, yung actually main event ang pinaka-inabangan ko doon kasi nga we were talking about this nung previous episode na what if yung manalo dito were to fight si Khamzat Shamaf. So
that is true.
Diba? I mean kasi it makes sense I mean Khamzat Shamaf versus Colby Covington ba tayo for the number 1 contender again fight against Kamaru Usman, or bigyan pa natin ng isa pang laban si Shamav sa isang tough fighter in the top 10 katulad ni in this case si Muhammad.
Parang parang the way things are shaping up, it's going to be Covington versus Shamav. Usman fights Edwards, and then now the winner of this one, Bilal Muhammad, is going to fight whoever wins between Covington and Shamav.
Pwede.
Diba? So whoever wins fights Bilal, and then whoever wins that fight is going to fight the winner of Usman versus Edwards.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting how this pans out, the welterweight division. Of course, my man Ralph Rondosa. Okay. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, we really advocate grassroots MMA.
Sobra.
Kaya rin we're very Kaya rin we're very, very active in supporting the Philippine MMA Federation, yung PMAF, kasi yun yung
Dati
pinaka-clear
walang ganyan.
grassroots program. Dati walang ganyan. Now, si PIMA, Philippine MMA Federation under Chief Alvin Aguilar, Coach Lester Del Rosario, Professor Richard Lasprilla, it really paves the way for amateur MMA. May career path siya, kumbaga. Like,
Better development for fighters eh.
oo, hindi yung laban ka lang, 'di ba? Hindi, ito may path like for kids, 'di ba? 6 or 7 years old. This is the program, this is the training, this is the competition, and then it progresses until you're 18 years old. The intention is by 18 you're a full blown MMA fighter who has trained the proper way and in a very safe environment. I think that's very important na kailangan safe environment, na you don't
Yeah.
take too much damage while
Kasi
you're young, 'di ba? Para okay
imagine,
ka. Go, JC.
yeah, imagine kasi, say, not to kiss anyone's ass, pero imagine 5, 10, 15 years ago, if you wanted to be fighting in MMA, ikaw mismo maghahanap ng fights eh, hindi mo pa alam kung saan ka pupunta para lang maka-experience ng laban to get to the pros. In this case, meron na tayong PMAF where yung development mo for MMA is may magandang progression. You can either, after competing within the tournaments of PMAF, you can either go with the national team or sa experience mo dito, possibly go pro if you want to.
Yep, that's true. And it's a full-scale MMA program. So it's striking, it's wrestling, it's grappling. And the best part is the Philippine MMA Federation holds events at least every other month, or so far ang dami ng I mean, ang bilis ng
Parang
turnaround
every
time
month
ni
so far
PIMA.
may nangyayari ng PMAF
Oo.
event.
Because they want the fighters to be active. They want them to make sure. And if you watch any PMAF event, if you're supporting or sponsoring any PMAF event, you see them. Ang ganda, may uniform, 'di ba? May uniform, merong proper identification of corners, 'di ba? The officials are, 'di ba? It's done in a very professional manner, and I can't say enough good things about it. Of course, there will be limitations. Of course, there will be problems, pero it's doing its best with the resources that they have. And I really, really hope that we send the message across na now we really have good fighters in the Philippines. We are not short of good fighters. If all you have to do is look at your nearest MMA gym or the talent that we have, 'di ba? Naga, okay, Naga. That's in the Bicol region, nag-hold ng MMA event. Ibig sabihin, nakapuno sila ng fight card. 'Di ba? So it simply means we're not short of talent. Then we have very active fighters. You got the Balisacan brothers, you got Ornido, you got Maningat, you got Ruel Panales, 'di ba? You got Fier Afan, you got the Dardel Rosario brothers. 'Di ba?
Dami.
Ano to eh, ang dami. You have some amateur wrestling guys who are trying their luck in the MMA scene. Ang dami, 'di ba? So hindi tayo it's good times, okay? It's a very good time to really, really get involved. And then the recent UWW and PMAF events sa Victoria Sports, yan, yung team ni Coach Jerry Regaspi. Ayan, si Coach Gabay, gagawa rin ng team yan for sure. Ano yan? Ang ganda nito. Sobrang ganda nito. Sobrang, kung magtuloy-tuloy yung momentum, di ba? So, ano yan? And tama si JC, compared to 10-15 years ago, wala to. This is non-existent. This is...
Napakahirap pumanap ng laban before.
Oo, yun pa. Ngayon, maghahanap ka lang sa space. Di ba? Makita mo lang, punta ka lang ng Facebook page ni PMAF, or meron tayong laban ngayon. May available na ano ngayon. Di ba? So, in terms of the Luge, Vicente Luge, Belal Muhammad fight, what are your thoughts, JC?
Knowing na si Muhammad was a wrestler, I imagined the fight going that way. Sabi nga ng mga tao, may mga nagsasabi na syempre, yan na naman sila. Pag nakakita ng wrestlers, they say it's boring. Kaya lang, it's his style. And, you know, that's how he dominates his opponents through wrestling. So, Actually, okay nga yung dating kasi isipin mo, I know Luke does wrestling too, pero parang naiwanan niya sa gym yung wrestling niya dito sa kalaban na to. I guess he concentrated on striking, thinking na he had some sort of advantage given na nandun siya kay Henry Goof. Kaya lang, that's not exactly what happened. I mean, pareho naman kayong wrestlers, so why not wrestle each other para, ayun, fair yung playing ground nyo. Kaya lang, yun nga. I guess, hindi ko alam kung saan nagkamali si Luko doon. I guess, sa game plan niya for strike, for try. Pero maganda rin naman actually exchanges sila in terms of striking. Pero yung grappling lang din talaga, yung wrestling in this fight was great, was superb.
Well, Vicente Luque was he was actually doing pretty well in the early rounds. He was throwing a lot of really, really good leg kicks, and he was throwing calf kicks that mattered. As in, may times noon, may sequences, makikita mo, medyo umiika-ika na si Belal.
Nararamdaman na niya, no?
Diba? Diba? Nararamdaman niya na eh. Kaya rin siguro he decided to wrestle Luge kasi nga the calf kicks and the leg kicks were hurting him and it was bothering him. Kaya naisip niya, okay, let me take this guy down. The problem with that was takedown defense ni Vicente Luge. The pace that Belal was implementing was very good. That the top pressure, okay, one thing that I
pressure niya, no? Consistent pressure.
So panoorin nyo not just the takedown, okay? Not just the takedown. Panoorin nyo how Belal was able to put downward pressure. As in, he was able to pass the guard with so much ease. That's pressure. That's wrestling pressure. Yan yung sobrang na-appreciate ko sa wrestling. As in, you can put so much downward pressure na he was easily, it was a basic smash pass, get to the side, diba? Get the back. Nakakapagod yun. More than anything, nakakapagod yun. Towards the second half, it was the Belal Muhammad show. I don't know kung anong nangyari kay Vicente Luque. Parang napagod din siya. Stay with JC. Diba? Medyo ang bilis napagod ni Vicente Luque.
Parang pang pakinggan, pero kasi yung mga guys from Sanford MMA, medyo meron ng tungkol dyan.
Oo nga, no?
Diba? Pag umahaba yung laban, di ba?
Oo. Si JC uno nakapansin niya na. Pag nagchichismisan kami.
Hindi ko alam. Kaya nga umalis si Camaro dun kasi nakikita na natin kay Camaro parang nagkakaroon siya ng problem sa
parang there's a strength and conditioning problem there. Know. There's a gas tank problem sa dun sa camp ni Okay? Major shoutout sa iyo, Mandirigma 80 watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have questions, okay? If you have questions, tanong mo lang. Magpupunta tayo sa boxing maya-mayang konti. Of course, our boy Michael Saison, si Jordan Levitt Astig. Yes, he performed well. The same with Andre Fialo. Okay, round 1 KO. Another guy to watch out for. Coach Gabay says we need to ban calf kicks.
Nakakabuso na daw yung calf kicks.
Diba? And considering hindi naman bago yung calf kicks. Ang dami na nagka-calf kick before. Okay, it's nothing new. Ang dami na, if you watch Karate Combat, if you watch Muay Thai fights, yung mga, lalo na yung mga old school na Muay Thai fights, yung mga Ramon Decker's era, ang dami na nagka-calf kicks before. Masyadong utilized na talaga siya sa MMA ngayon.
Strike lang siya talaga in MMA before.
Diba? That's the thing. So, Vicente Luque showed signs of fatigue. Parang halfway or second half of the second round pala. Parang napapansin ko, okay, but parang nag-fade na to. By the third round...
Parang 3 rounds lang yung gas nila, no? For some reason.
Diba? By the third round, it was steady. Kasi medyo napagod din si Belal. Fourth round was Belal again. Fifth round, Belal emptied the gas tank. Diba? Inubos niya na talaga. Kasi makita mo rin, medyo pagod na rin siya towards the fifth round. Pero it was enough to secure the win. He was clinching. He was fighting off the cage. Maganda yung sequences niya. Ang tawag dito, control was there. It was really good. Wala talaga eh. Sayang. It was a far cry from the very first encounter, 'di ba? Wherein
Yeah.
Luge was able to 'di ba?
Bilal came
Uh,
in well prepared this time, for sure.
'Di ba? Yep. He came in really, really well. Okay, for everyone, let's switch over to boxing. Let's just get this off the table. A lot of people have been asking about the Yumir Marshall fight again. Okay? So
Mhm.
para sa akin po, okay, because I posted on social media as well, was the stoppage correct? I agree.
Mhm.
Yes. Was it too early? Yes, for me it was early. It was an early stoppage. Was it enough? Of course, hindi I can't really. Okay, everyone, we'll do something different now. For people
Oo.
in the boxing community, okay?
Oh,
If you have interesting insights, okay, we'll try to put you on the show as well. Okay? Put it in the comment section that you want to come
sige.
up, 'di ba? Kung gusto niyo umakyat, 'di ba? Tignan natin. Maganda kayo ng
Mhm.
magbigay kayo ng magandang insight sa comment section. Okay? Gawa kayo ng magandang insight sa comment section. Pag nagustuhan namin, we'll put you up on the show. Let's discuss. Okay? Any type of, if you have questions, we'll try to answer them. Pero going back to the Yumir Marshall fight, ikaw, JC, what were your thoughts on that one so that
Ah,
we can get
sa akin
past this na?
sa akin kasi yung stoppage ng referee parang yung stoppage na nagulat, tinigil.
That
Gano'n
is
yung dating,
also, oo,
'di ba?
oo, pwede. Kasi ano siya eh,
Kaya nung
masyadong hot take siya eh. I mean,
oo,
it's very understandable. Pero in terms of
very Herb Dean
pag
early, gano'n.
tsaka ano rin eh, tawag dito, maano mo rin siya na it was the right thing to do.
Mhm.
Medyo chicken legs na rin siya. Lalo na sa
Oo.
TikTok ko, ang dami nagdebate sa TikTok
Oh,
post ko eh. Parang, the main reason of the people were, ano raw eh, nag-chicken legs na raw, kaya pabagsak na.
oh,
Ang sa akin naman was,
wala lang.
di ba, kasi, hinayaan mong bumagsak si Ymir ng
Oo,
3 beses eh.
oo,
Hayaan mo siyang bumagsak
nangyari.
din, di ba? So it's
Nag-chicken
para
legs ng iba
entertaining
eh, si
for the
Junior
fans.
bumagsak ng 3. Do the
Oo.
math, parang hindi fair. Ewan ko.
Ang sa akin lang doon, it really showed Ymir's heart. It really showed
Yeah.
Ymir's composure under pressure
Mhm.
and his resilience. Grabe yun, bumagsak ang 3.
Yeah.
For other fighters, give up na lang yun. Si Ymir, laban pa rin. Kasi ang daming criticisms din about the fight.
Oo.
And a lot of criticisms about Ymir. I mean, come on guys. This is Ymir Marshall's second professional fight. You have to cut him some slack. You have to manage expectations, 'di ba? And ako ako feeling ko talaga nanakaut yan during training. Nanakaut yan sa gym.
Possible,
Kasi,
possible talaga eh.
kasi ganong kabilis bumagsak, ganong kalambot yung panga mo, 'di ba? By my experience training fighters and training with fighters and training for a fight, yung ganyan kalambot na panga ibig sabihin na knockout sa gym yan. Pero doon mo rin
Pero
makikita yung strength and
mm,
conditioning niya, 'di ba? Kasi he was able
mm,
to stand up, 'di ba? Sinabi ng referee, taas gloves. Ang bilis eh. He was able to respond well. 'Di ba? Yun yung maganda doon, okay? So
mm,
we have to give Ymir Marshall time to get into the flow of things of being a professional boxer. Kasi ikaw,
mm.
JC, ano naman na-encounter mong comments
Meron
sa
meron
boxing
mga
circles
nagsasabi
mo?
na after this fight, parang tinatawag na nila na glass chin si Yumir because of the 3 knockdowns.
Oo, nakita ko rin yan. Glass chin
Nakita
daw.
ko yun eh. Hindi ko alam kung pwede nang sabihin or at this point kasi second fight, hindi natin yun nga, kamukha ng possible nga talaga na he got knocked out or knocked down ng matindi nung preparations towards the fight eh. So baka yun yung cause kaya ganoon siya. Hindi natin masabi. And some people na medyo agree naman ako are calling for a rematch between Ymir and Hart. Pero at this
Ako, I'd
point,
watch a rematch. Okay ako sa rematch.
para lang
Game
no?
ako dyan.
To set the record straight, ano?
Settle. Oo. 'Di ba? You have to understand na Isaiah Hart showed heart. Isaiah
Yeah,
Hart did really, really well.
for
It was
sure.
taller, it was longer. He had knockout power. Yeah, he showed punching power. Okay. Um, Ayan, kita mo, El Torogi from YouTube. Thank you for watching, bro.
Mhm.
Yumir Marshall. Parang Juan Manuel Marquez ang... Oh, yes. Oh, pwede.
Medyo,
Pwede.
pwede,
Pwede to,
pwede.
Pwede to. Pwede to. Pwede to. Maganda to. Maganda ano to. Okay, si Irvin said isa rin yung coach paano niya gisingin yung knockdown na bata niya. Oh, 'di ba? Kailangan mo 'yan eh. You have to ay teka lang. Okay, balik tayo. Ayan. You have to make sure na these are it's not just the chin, it's not just the
Oh, yeah.
performance. Maaring gigil din, like just like what John Yambao of Boxing Corner
Yeah.
said. He was just really amped up to perform.
Eager
He
to
had a lot
immerse
of
kasi second fight eh.
Oo, 'di ba? You're very excited. You're very excited to come up and climb the ranks. Um Kasi by
Blame
the
him, sure.
third round, he was able to get a rhythm by the third round. 'Di ba? He was going for body
Mhm.
shots. He was planting and he was pulling off his combinations. Mas maganda siya. The third round was all Yumir Marshall leading to the fourth
Mm.
round. Leading to the fourth round, maganda yung momentum niya. He was sustaining it tuloy-tuloy until the
Yeah.
stoppage. Um What do you guys think in the comment section? Game ba kayo? Are you guys game for a rematch between Yumir Marshall and Isaiah Hart? Isaiah Hart did really, really well. I have no qualms with his
Parang,
performance. He
yeah, tulad
showed
na
a
sinabi
lot
ko
of...
sa last time, it seemed like the referee took the fight away from both fighters.
Yes,
Unfortunately.
I agree. Totoo. Yan yung ano ko. Yan din yung sa tingin ko magiging dilemma nung laban na 'to, 'di ba? And speaking of other Pinoys, another Facebook channel page that I really encourage everyone to look out is si Real Fight Philippines. Okay, Real Fight Philippines. Ayan, what's up? Kakasabi lang namin, PH Boxing Corner. What's up, Attorney John? Ayan, please
Sa,
subscribe to his
nasa beat
YouTube
na tayo
channel,
sa tourney ngayon eh.
'di ba? So ayan, kung libre si attorney, tignan natin.
Oo.
Kung gusto mo umakyat diyan, sabihan message mo kami. We'll,
Oo.
we'll we'll patch you in. Um yung ano rin diyan, so Real Fight PH, okay? Real Fight PH and then Baby Dynamite Sports, okay? In terms
Yeah.
of boxing updates, uh one thing that I really like about Baby Dynamite Sports, that's the page of Rika Aquino, another sports broadcaster, is she just really incorporates and very inclusive yung page niya. Doon ko nga rin nakita yung laban ni Norj Guro eh. 'Di ba?
Mhm.
Ang ganda nung ang ganda nung coverage nila doon, ang ganda rin nung exposure that Norj was able to get
Yeah.
there. Then recently, si Melvin Melindo won, 'di
I
ba?
think today yun.
Yeah. Hindi. Recently, parang tapos na yung laban na yun eh. Pero Melvin Melindo, tagal-tagal
Oh.
ko na naririnig yan si Melvin Melindo. Diyos ko.
Oh.
'Di ba? Nawala, tapos balik. Ayan, okay. Ayan, of course, our boy. What's up, Hot Nicks? Diyan masasabi yung charge it to experience. Second pro fight lang, kaya nahulma pa lang siya kung anong klaseng fight. Yes, 'di ba? We'll definitely see more of Ymir. We'll definitely see more
Yeah.
of what he's capable of doing. 'Di ba?
I think he needed that, those 3 knockdowns. He needed the
Talagang ano lang
beating
eh,
for that
hindi
35.
maka-get over yung mga tao eh.
Oo.
'Di ba, hindi maka-get over yung mga tao. Doon ako na
Mm.
ano eh, 'di ba? Tsaka ano, sobrang dami. Yun yung ako, ang dami nangyari, ang daming ganap sa boxing ngayon, Yun yung
Oo.
medyo nakakatuwa eh. Ang daming ganap sa boxing ngayon. Sobrang daming nangyayari and sobrang daming balita. Kaya
Yeah.
kaya it's very very good for the boxing community. Tapos,
Even
sino
he
pa
needs
ba?
to pick up the pieces.
Some of the Elorde Southbox boys have updates eh. Yan,
Mm.
Hindi ko
May mga
maalala ko
magta-title fight
si
sometime
Ganoza
soon.
may laban yan. Si Ladrada may laban yan. I just have to get updates as to kung tuloy ba, pero I've seen previous post na Lawrence Ladrada, tsaka si Chris Ganoza. Alam ko those two fighters have upcoming fights. Sino pa ba? And then of course, who else is fighting? Ang dami.
This weekend na ata o next weekend si Casimero.
Ayun din, 'di ba? Casimero Butler. Casimero Butler is
namuntikan pang magka-problema yung trip papuntang UK.
Pero Jonas Sultan is prepared to
It's
be
good.
the alternate,
Sure.
'di ba? Oh, naka-standby si Jonas Sultan. Ikaw, what are your thoughts about the repercussions of this fight for John Real Casimero?
Dahil nga may schedule na for the Donaire versus Inoue 2 rematch, whatever happens to this fight will decide Casimero's fate. Kasi kapag hindi na maging maganda yung performance niya ito, I don't think if Inoue wins against
Donaire.
Donaire, I don't think he will still want to fight Casimero. Kasi nga, si Inoue, he always wants an exciting fight. Kung lackluster performance ng isa, parang gusto niya bumibenta yung laban at magandang laban. Kapag medyo sablay ang performance ni Casimero dito, either he will take it and think it's an easy fight for him, or he will decline kasi, he won't think it's gonna be an exciting fight. Pero as for Casimero, kung ano ang magiging outcome ng fight, given na si Butler hindi naman exactly ganun kaganda ang record, although maganda rin yung resume ni Butler kahit pa paano. I mean, but si Paul Butler is no pushover. Plus, we should not forget na nung December, si Casimero...
Wala na naman si JC. Ayan. Bumalik.
So we should not forget na nung December, Casimero was the one who messed up. He missed weight big time. Kaya hindi natuloy yung laban. So this time, is he more concentrated dun sa laban? Is he... alam ko nakuha niya na daw yung weight. Pero yung mindset ba nandun? Is he gonna be really in that fight pag nangyari na? Or is it floating somewhere else? Hindi natin malaman. Baka meron na namang gumugulo sa isip niya na kung ano Kasi recently, ang daming issues sa buhay. Diba? Yun na nga, yung issue na muntikan na naman silang hindi matuloy sa UK. Na WBO already issued a statement months ago na if for whatever reason the fight gets canceled because of something from Casimero's end, he will get stripped. Buti na lang hindi nangyari yun. Kasi kung nagkataon, ako po, kawawang Casimero with all the hype that he has, with everything, sa lahat ng ingay na ginagawa niya, tapos masistrip lang siya ng belt. Ang sablay nun kung nagkataon. Buti na lang hindi. And ngayon, he needs to prove that he deserves the belt dito sa laban na to, given na nga mga nangyaring fuck-ups last time.
And of course, to help us understand this whole thing is our boy, John Young from PH Boxing Corner.
What's up,
John,
boys?
Everyone's anticipating the entire Casimero Butler fight. Okay? For the simple reason that Casimero is such a polarizing and colorful figure so far. Ang dami niyang, like si JC. JC enumerated everything that has happened so far. Ikaw, the way the boxing scene is shaping up, from the reactions of the people, the fans, the analysts, ikaw, how do you see this panning out?
Ito talaga for me, make or break to kasi we know that boxing is 90% a mental game, 'di ba? It's a game of high level chess yan So yung mindset ng isang fighter should be in tip-top shape, and it will dictate more or less yung laban. So dito natin makikita yung mental fortitude ni Casimero kung ma-overcome niya yung mga issues niya outside of the ring. Pero yun na nga, sabi nga nila, and I agree, makuha niya lang timbang, dumating siya sa laban, he will win the fight. Basta wala lang siya gawing anything crazy in the ring. Gawin niya lang kung ano yung Casimero, follow the game plan. I'm sure he's in tip-top shape physically, and execute the game plan, that's it. Kasi parang I just don't see Paul Butler winning this fight unless merong siguro divine intervention na bigla siyang may power or may speed na hindi pa natin nakikita before. But if it's the same Paul Butler, I expect a knockout from Casimero not later than the 6th round.
Wow, 6th round. 6th round. That's tawag dito, that's
4 to 6,
highly
4 to 6.
highly possible considering the pace and the power and the pressure that Casimero can provide, not unless Butler decides to run and
Correct.
just, diba, and run around, diba, dance around the ring and then buy his time. So let's start. I have a question for JC, then let's get John's input as well. How is it different now considering Casimero has been very vocal, he's been very loud, pero for this particular camp, for this particular fight, he decided na okay, I'm gonna shut up, di ba? So ikaw, JC, as someone who's followed Casimero's career, di ba, and analyzed everything, how do you see the difference now na medyo tahimik yung Casimero camp?
Kasi si Casimero, everything he opens his mouth, something bad happens for some reason. Nakikita natin yun sa career niya. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. Di ba? Yun na, nawala na sa MB Promotions. Now he's with the new promoter. Yung last preparation niya supposedly for this fight from December, wala siyang, parang hindi ko alam kung may conditioning coach ba siya noon or what, kaya hindi siya nakaabot ng timbang. Kasi yung time nakakaalis sila ng MB Promotions pero sobrang ingay niya pa rin that time. I guess, siguro kung sino man yung advisor niya, told him na maglaylo muna do sa trash talk and mag-focus on other important things, which is yung training niya for this fight. Kasi nga, it's probably gonna be his fight na magde-decide kung anong fate ng unification or we call this yung for undisputed na ba next fight niya with Inoue, kung matutuloy na ba talaga yung laban. I'm diba? Sure
everyone's looking forward to that.
And that fight happens, ibubuhos niya lahat ng pwedeng trash talk niya dun sa matchup with Inoue.
And then when we head on over to John, so the same can be said with how Casimero, is this a sign of focus? Is this a sign of determination? And anong factor, how do you put in the Jonas Sultan on the side as another part of this equation? Kasi Jonas Sultan is now in Europe, diba? He's like the reliever, diba? If Casimero doesn't make weight, Sultan is there. So how will this shape the entire complexion of the fight?
Right. Siguro na-discuss yan thoroughly eh. I think Pau Salud also touched on that. So yung the Sultan issue, mas magiging factor lang siya if hindi nag-show up si Casimero doon sa weigh-in or doon sa fight mismo. But yung sa mga missing weight na issue, papasok doon yung WBO rules. And so kahit na mag-miss siya ng weight si Casimero, basta dumating siya sa weigh-in, tutuloy pa rin yung laban. Mag-iiba lang yung dynamics ng laban, whether maging non-title fight siya or masistrip siya, things like that. Okay. But doon naman sa Jonas Sultan na laban, possible na maging Sultan versus Casimero or Sultan versus Butler. Pero for me, siguro si Casimero just focus on Butler kasi it's hard to take into consideration pa yung something that's very contingent eh. Kumbaga malaking percentage na si Butler yung mga kalaban mo, and kung babaguhin mo pa yung game plan mo and yung mindset mo, I think it's gonna hurt you more than it could help you.
Diba? And considering kasi that it happens, may mga reserve fighters talaga.
Right.
Ang inaano ko lang is for this particular fight, in-announce kung sino yung magiging replacement fighter eh. Yun yung, it adds to the drama eh. It adds to the flavor of the entire scene eh. Kasi ginawa mo ng, parang ginawa mo siyang love triangle eh. Oo, di ba? Parang ginawa mong love triangle yun eh. So, it goes to show how the WBO sees Casimero, how the promoters see Casimero, and how they want to make sure that the show will go on. Diba? So, dyan din ngayon papasok yung sinabi ni JC kanina. This is make or break for Casimero. Kasi, diba? Okay, if you don't show up, we got another guy who's willing to, who's gonna make weight. We have another guy who's willing to show up, diba? And we're gonna strip you.
And tama. Go ahead.
Sige. What if, kung kaya pala nandun si Sultan, hindi siya replacement ni Casimero but replacement ni Butler? What if? How does that change the game or the fight?
John.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. And I think Probellum and the WBO, like both of them know the history behind Casimero and Sean Gibbons and MP Promotions. So they know the fact na nandyan si Sultan on standby attracts attention and gives the main card, more hype and interest sa mga tao. So kahit na hindi matuloy yan o matuloy, the fact na it's part of the story gives it more flavor eh.
And of course, yan, hindi natin kakalimutan ang ating isa sa mga paboritong coach, si Roel Abaw, Coach Roel. Okay? The best celebrity coach ever. Please follow him on Facebook. Ayan, A+ Sports. Di ba? Maraming sinusuporta ang local boxers yan, si Coach Roel. So, sabi nga niya, di ba, Jason Maloney, Abner Mares, Leo Santa Cruz is watching. So, it's going to be a very, very interesting fight this weekend. And speaking of very interesting fights, okay, Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas. We will start off with JC and then let's go to John. JC, how did you see this fight and were you surprised, okay, if at all? Were you surprised at the performance of Errol Spence Jr.?
Kasi si Errol Spence, we know how good the guy is. Nagkaroon lang talaga siyang problem last year about sa mata niya nga. Pero alam naman natin yung caliber niya. Yung question pa rin ng mga tao sa kanya is, did he really umilag ba talaga siya kay Manny Pacquiao? Umiwas ba talaga siya kay Manny Pacquiao and let Ugas fight him first? Pero bago yon, yung kay Ugas muna na laban. I mean, we know Ugas is good kasi nga, yung caliber niya, yung laban niya nga kay Manny Pacquiao, imagine lahat ng jabs niya, which is a basic punch and boxing, lahat pumapasok. Hindi naman sa madali para sa kanya yung laban kasi we saw the damage that Manny Pacquiao had on him. Pero dito sa Spence fight, we saw how good Spence really was kasi akala ko ng first few rounds hindi makapasok si Spence sa depensa ni Ugas. And si Ugas ang nakakagawa ng damage on Spence. But apparently, kumbaga parang nagtatanim si Spence ng gulay at nagtatanim siya ng buto na eventually as the rounds progressed, parang tumutubo na yung tinatanim niya and lumalabas na kay Ugas. Nahihirapan na si Ugas. Nararamdaman niya na lahat ng tumatama lalo sa kanya ng mga binabatong suntok ni
towards the later rounds na lalo,
towards
di ba?
the later rounds, yun parang nawawala na talaga sa laban si Ugas eh. Which, akala ko nung una, mali lang siguro yung nakita ko na first few rounds, parang may dugo dito si Spence nun or what eh. Baka sa video lang. Akala ko, sabi ko, ito na yata yun, matatapos ni si Spence. Pero I was wrong. Kasi, whatever happened there, na-overcome ni Spence yun, muntik pa was Spence knocked down or muntik nga ba siyang ma-knockdown for that?
Medyo nag-groggy siya doon. There was a time that he wobbled Spence.
Pero nakabawi siya and eventually he won against Ugas via KO. Tinigilan ng referee, di ba? Kasi Grabe yung mata ni Ugas.
Wasak.
Talagang hindi nakakayanin. Wasak talaga eh. Broke his orbital bone, di ba?
Yeah. Fractured his orbital. John, your thoughts on the fight?
Yeah, it was a very interesting fight, and we all knew what Spence was capable of, and nakita rin natin yung kumbaga peak Ugas against Manny Pacquiao, but styles make fights. And I think Ugas did well early on, and sabi nga ni JC, his defense was impeccable and he was landing clear shots. Yun nga lang, feeling ko Ugas got too confident kasi nga he was having success early on. I don't know if he abandoned their original game plan kasi during the middle rounds, especially when he saw that he could hurt Spence, especially during the 6th round when he knocked Spence against the ropes. Na actually knockdown yun kasi yung ropes yung the only reason that held him up.
Yeah.
Tapos controversial pa yun because Lawrence Cole, the referee, said stop. Kasi natanggal yung mouthpiece ni Spence. And that's a big mistake for the referee. Bakit mo papatigil, di ba? Especially, posible na maging turning point yun sa fight. And si Ugas, although tinuloy niya yung punch, nag-stop siya nung narinig niya yung stop. So, merong split second doon that Ugas could have taken advantage of. And I think doon na nag-shift yung momentum, bumawi si Spence. And 7th round, the round after that, doon nabali yung orbital bone ni Ugas from an uppercut galing kay Spence. So I think yung confidence na na-build ni Ugas early on parang proved to be detrimental sa kanya because he became overconfident and probably abandoned yung game plan nila. So si Spence naman stuck to the game plan, nag-pay dividends yung body shots niya early on and slowed down yung offense ni Ugas. And yun nga, dahil nabali na yung orbital bone ni Ugas, he wasn't as effective. He couldn't see in his right eye anymore and forced the referee the physician to stop the fight. So it was a good performance from Spence, and it showed na he has heart. He's very resilient, and it gives us more stuff to talk about as far as yung undisputed naman dito sa welterweight division. So Spence versus Crawford, it makes itong fight na to kay Ugas makes that Crawford fight more interesting, and it's very intriguing. I'd love to see that fight.
Grabe nga yun. I really thought that Ugas had Spence in the early rounds as well.
Yeah.
I was also equally shocked. Di ba? Na parang, okay, ba't yung tinigil yun? Ba't nag-stop yung referee? Kasi hindi excuse ang yung binuga mo yung mouthpiece mo or na laglag yung mouthpiece mo. Especially, Ugas was in the middle of an attacking sequence. Diba? He clearly had momentum on his side. And that, for me, clearly shifted the momentum and the rhythm of the entire fight. Okay? And it took it away from Ugas. Nawala yung rhythm niya, nawala yung momentum sa side niya. Now, what's clearly evident is yung ring, for me, the ring generalship and the ring IQ and the tactics and the strategies implemented by Errol Spence to negate Yordenis Ugas's boxing. He knows that Ugas has a really good job, so he jumped the gun. Inunahan niya yung the jabbing game. Okay, if we're talking about the jabbing game, inunahan niya si Ugas. Early on pa lang, he started yung mga touch jabs, yung mga tapik-tapik lang, inunahan niya na kaagad yun. Okay? Then when Ugas started recognizing that Spence had his range, he started with an overhand jab of his own. Now, the moment the overhand jab started connecting kay Errol Spence shifted to infighting. The moment he shifted into infighting, he was able to create defenses, he was able to create wedges. Ang maganda doon, if you watch the fight again, panoorin nyo kung nasan yung paa ni Errol Spence during each sequence. Tapos, tignan nyo kung paano niya, I mean, yung iba kasi, the infighting is good, but if you watch it 2 to 3 times more, makikita mo how tactical were the leaning ins of Errol Spence. He wasn't just leaning in kasi gusto niya mag-infighting. May purpose bawat lean in niya. It was either ibablock niya yung vision ni Ugas, kaya ang dami pumasok na uppercuts. Sa akin lang, the way those uppercuts the way those uppercuts landed, medyo it was very planned, it was very methodical. Okay, the way he was able to create separation. Okay, so he was able to lean in. So nakikita niya, Ugas was taller, the overhand jabs were ready. Okay, it was hitting, finding its target. That's when he started level changing. So pag nagle-level changing ngayon, bababaan mo, lalapit siya. So mukhang medyo gulang siya ng konti. Pero ang mangyayari kasi doon, you are limiting the punching range and you're limiting the punching options of Ugas. So, baba ka, level change, tapos dikit ka. So, clinch ka ngayon. From clinching, so, akala ni Ugas makapagpahinga siya. Ang gagawin pala ni Spence, he's going to create a little bit of separation, di ba? Lalayo niya ng konti. The moment na magkalayo na yung may distance na siya, he's going to circle out to his right or to his left, then all of a sudden may uppercut. Those uppercuts were very devastating. It accumulated to a point wherein one was able to hit its target. Basag yung orbital ni Yordenis Ugas. Major props to him kasi he wanted to continue to fight pero the ring physician said in the 10th round na no, you can't anymore. And kitang-kita naman, Diyos ko, basag talaga. As in, maga eh. Talagang daga eh. Tapos sarado na yung mata niya eh. Pero it was a really good mid-fight adjustment for Spence. I don't know if they prepared for that, pero nakita ko talaga from fighting mid-range, he just suddenly decided, close the gap, lapit siya, lean in, throw uppercuts and hooks. Diba? So, my question now to my co-host here, let's start with JC, then let's go to John. JC, how do you see the Errol Spence of this fight? Okay? This recent fight. The way he adjusts, the way he moves, how does that guy fare against Terence Crawford now?
Ang hirap eh. Hirap eh. Kasi alam din natin kung paano mag-adjust si Terence Crawford in his fights eh. Ang hirap sabihin kung sino sa kanila yung mananalo. I'd say kung sino yung may mas better game plan. Kung may nakita si Bud na anything na butas sa laro ni Spence during that fight, I'm sure he will do something about that. Paghahandaan yan ng mabuti. Although ang question ko about Crawford is, di ba, alam ko wala na siya sa top rank or paalis na siya sa top rank and hindi ko alam kung natuloy na ba kasi parang magsasign yata dapat siya sa PBC or something. Kung matuloy yan, mas malaki yung chances na matuloy na yung Spence fight. And then, if and when it happens, parang, well, it's gonna be good for the welterweight division kasi nga, imagine, yung PBC will have all the belts. Kung sino man manalo against the two, yung other promotions may hawak ng welterweights will have to go to PBC to fight the champion. Ang hirap eh kasi at this point, based sa mga nakalaban ni Spence versus sa mga nakalaban ni
Crawford,
ang hirap isipin kung ano exactly ang magiging outcome ng laban nila eh. But I'm sure it's gonna be a very, very competitive fight given na both guys have yung caliber nila with the amateur experience that they had and the type of opponents that they had, matindi. And ang hirap.
Napaisip si JC bigla dun eh. Kahit ako, hindi ko rin alam. Now, John, everyone's, okay, whether people admit it or not, a lot of people in the welterweight division have been ducking Terence Crawford simply because Terence Crawford is that good. Diba? Even during off-cam discussions namin, we've always marveled at how Terence Crawford is, not just physically, but mentally and strategically. With this fight, okay, with the win of Errol Spence, he wanted Crawford. He is specifically targeting Crawford. How does this build up towards the actual fight? Okay, how do you see this fight panning out?
At this point in time, this fight is definitely easier to make Number one,
Mhm.
because Terence Crawford is now a free agent, and so far he hasn't signed with anyone yet. And the good thing about this is, ngayon kasi meron na tayong Canelo Blueprint eh. Now, you don't
Mhm.
have to sign with one promoter or network. So, if you're that big of a star, you don't have to commit yourself to just one promoter or network. So, you can just sign 2 fights or a 3 fight deal with PBC or the Zone or Matchroom, whatever, to get the fights you want. So,
Mhm.
kailangan nakapackage yung deal na yon. So, kung the perfect time kasi to make the Spence fight is probably one fight muna and then yun na. Pwede na yun eh. Kaya nila gawin this year or early next year. Kasi if you wait 2 years na naman, bababa na yung hype eh. Kasi nanalo na
Oo.
si Spence over Ugas and he has 3 belts now. Iisa na lang makukompleto na yung undisputed. So, pwede nating bigyan pa ng isang fight si Terence Crawford just to see and compare yung recent fights nila bago sila maglaban. And I think that's a good build-up. So,
Mhm.
stylistically, this has a making of a fight of the year. Kasi
Mhm.
it's a 50-50 fight. They're both at their prime and they're both American fighters. Of course, syempre mabenta yan sa US. And
Mhm.
even sa mga boxing fans and kahit dun sa mga casual fans, it will sell. Tapos, but for me, if you're gonna ask me, I will go with Bud. It's a 50-50 fight, but I would go for Terence Crawford. Siguro unanimous decision victory. But in a close fight, probably 116, 112, 115, 113, ganyan. Just because I think he has more in his arsenal. Yung offense niya is very very on point. Mas pulido siya for me than Spence. And feeling ko maraming ma-exploit si Bud kay Spence more than may ma-exploit si Spence kay Bud. Kasi yung
Mhm.
switch hitting ni Bud, yung defense niya, IQ niya, the ability to adjust regardless of the style ng kalaban niya is just top notch. And kung i-compare natin yung performances nila pareho, si Spence kasi gets hit a lot eh. And you've seen
Mhm.
him, in close battles with Porter, with Ugas nga early on, and even yung early fights ni Spence eh. So for me, kaya lang hindi binibigyan ng ganong credit si Bud is because Top Rank held him back. I think yung
Mhm.
quality ng opponents din, although it made Terence Crawford look good, doon naman sa mata ng boxing fans, medyo, you're not fooling us. But
Oo.
still, he delivered how he was expected to deliver. So, it's going to be an interesting fight. I hope they make that fight happen. And I can't wait.
Ako
Pero,
nga,
if,
go JC, go, go, go.
yeah, you can both answer. Kung bibigyan muna ng laban si Terence Crawford before facing si Spence, who do you think ang pwede niya labanan? Thurman or kung sino pa pwede? Just to to make him
Ako,
show
I'm
na
good with
ito yung
Thurman.
ability
Okay
ko.
ako kay Thurman.
Yeah,
Terence Crawford versus Thurman, and then whoever wins gets Errol
fight
Spence.
Spence. Correct. That's the
Mm.
best fight to make. Kasi Thurman, yung last fight niya with Barrios, right? And,
Very
he did
impressive.
pretty well. And parang on the comeback trail din siya eh. So, it may history doon, and they're both from the same network, wala nang other side of the street, so it's an easy fight to make, and it also makes sense kasi nga at least may 3 fight deal yan si Spence kay PBC, 'di ba? Pwedeng one fight with Thurman and then yung kay Spence pwede silang mag-rematch, so pwede nilang i-milk pa yan eh.
Ako nga, para sa akin, pwede mag-trilogy yan eh. I
Mhm.
mean, just to add to what John said, these fighters, Bud and Spence, are at the top of their careers. They're at the peak of their careers, actually. So, this makes for a really good trilogy. Kasi we never know, di ba? Whoever wins, wins. Then someone will clap back and say na, oy, give me a rematch. People would love to see the rematch. And then whoever wins the rematch, they want to get a rubber match. They could actually, yes, I totally agree. They should milk the story behind these two boxers. Diba? And then the angle would be Spence is on a road to unification. Terence Crawford is on the road. he's seeking validation because everyone is just downplaying him. He's been shelved by Top Rank for the longest time. It's his time to shine, diba? It's his time to get the money that he deserves, the recognition that he deserves. And then in between that is ano, 'di ba? Let's bring in Thurman, 'di ba? So make him fight Bud just to get, 'di ba? Just to see,
Yeah.
'di ba? Tingnan natin, 'di ba? Tapos sakto, Terence Crawford needs a quote unquote exhibition like a tune-up fight kasi hindi naman pwedeng saba ka kagad kay Errol Spence. Di natin alam. He's had this time off din naman eh. So it's going to be a very interesting, the story behind it is something that will sell. And I totally agree na masaya to. Okay, this is going to be a very very good fight and I really hope that this happens. So both my co-hosts here are saying na promotion wise it's easier. 'Di ba? Medyo people are willing. And then on the undercard, yung undercard very hindi masyado napansin. Okay, Isaac
Hmm?
Pitbull Cruz just defeated Yurokis Gamboa. JC, let's start with JC, then with John. How did you see the fight? How did you see if there are any improvements on Pitbull's game?
Well, si Gamboa, parang hindi ko alam. Parang madami kasi nagsasabi na rin and I would tend to agree na parang yung path ni Gamboa ngayon is parang yung kay Roy Jones na parang I guess hindi pa siya naniniwala na he's done, na he could have hung up his gloves already pero sa loob niya, no, I still want to fight. I can still be champion. And dun nga, kaya naghahanap pa siyang ng laban ngayon. And si Isaac Cruz naman, he's on his way up pa lang eh. I mean, he's an up-and-comer na out to prove himself kasi nung laban nga nila ni Gervonta Davis, muntik-muntikan sa kanya si Davis eh. And yung style, ayun yung style ni Cruz was too much for an old faded Gamboa. Hindi niya, parang sobrang medyo wild yung style ni Cruz na parang wala nang anything sa arsenal ni Gamboa that could have stopped yung galaw ni Cruz eh. Kasi the punches were coming from everywhere. Gumagalaw kung saan si Gamboa pero Cruz was just already there, nakakat yung angles niya and babato na naman ng barrage of punches na sa dami hindi na alam ni Gamboa kung paano niya dedepensan. Although may mga magaganda rin naman na punches na pumasok si Yuriorkis Gamboa kay Isaac Cruz pero grabe din yung panga ni Cruz. Sobrang kunat din, pitbull talaga.
And for John, how do you see, is it really really possible kasi Golden Boy just offered Pitbull $1 million to fight Ryan Garcia. Is Ryan Garcia ready for Isaac Cruz?
Kung question ko papayag si Ryan Garcia.
O yun din.
So, for me, yung laban ni Gamboa and Isaac Cruz, it was expected yung outcome. So, just to touch on yung topic as far as yung career ni Gamboa, nakakalungkot that Gamboa is still fighting kasi he's really shot. Kumbaga, he's done. Hindi na maganda for his health that he's still fighting. Pero yun nga, some fighters talaga is being, is retired by the sport. So, hindi natin siya masisi kung maybe he needs the money, maybe yung passion nandun pa din, but hindi na sumusunod yung body niya eh. And si Isaac Cruz kasi is the perfect fighter to look good against Gamboa, especially in this time, yung sa career ni Gamboa. Kasi the only disadvantage ni Isaac Cruz is he's short. So the only way and he's a pressure fighter. So the only way to beat Isaac Cruz is, to use your reach and box him from the outside. Kasi you would play to his advantage if makipagsabayin ka sa kanya. And yung pagiging short niya na disadvantage, nawawala kung ang kalaban niya rin si Gamboa, who is also short. So I think yung Ryan Garcia fight would make sense, and I think Ryan would win that fight provided his head is in the right place. Kasi kung
Mhm.
hindi 100% Ryan Garcia, kakainin siya ng buhay ni Pitbull kasi yung stamina ni Pitbull is good, yung power niya is good, technique is good. Kailangan ng perfect game plan ni Ryan, but I think he can do it. Yun nga lang, hindi natin alam if mentally he's there already. Kasi yung kay Emmanuel Tago nga,
Mhm.
parang nakito, parang may PTSD pa si Ryan tuwing babato ng straight or anything na power shot si Tago, parang iba eh. Iba yung
Nararattle pa,
reaction,
oo.
na-rattle siya eh. Iba yung body language niya eh. So, I want to see Ryan in another fight, kahit dalawa muna before he takes on someone like Pitbull.
Oh, yan, no? Even Coach Ruel said, yan, no? Di na katulad ng dati si Gamboa. Oo.
Right.
I mean, Yurokis Gamboa has been, dude, I've watched that guy fight like years ago. Kaya nagulat ako na parang, is this Gamboa, Yurokis Gamboa? Like, the Yurokis Gamboa? Tapos nakita ko nga, oh my God, oh, siya pa rin. So, I really hope na he's able to, ano yun eh, minsan it's just fighters not knowing when to give up or when to hang it up. So I really hope na he gets better advice, or if he does fight for, again, yung mga tipong sakto naman good payday fights na tayo, di ba? Wag na yung, di ba? Medyo, like for example, the way, I mean, he had his moments, the defense was there. He could probably shift his style. Kasi there were glimpses of him evading. Okay, di ba? Maganda yung defense niya. He was able to avoid a lot of the barrage. Pero nung nakipagsabayan na siya, gusto niya makipagsabayan eh. Yun yung problema. The moment he started to engage and go fight toe-to-toe with Isaac Cruz, that's when he starts getting clipped. Di ba? He got clipped by that left hook. He got clipped by that right overhand. And if he just fought a very defensive fight, if he just started boxing, I think he would have a longer career. Feeling ko lang, I mean, Gumbo is still there. He had his glimpses, he had his moments, pero wala na. Don't go toe-to-toe, especially with younger guys and people who have really, really good knockout power. Also agree with the Ryan Garcia fight. Garcia should fight at least once before going after Isaac Cruz kasi Cruz is not afraid of him, 'di ba? Ryan Garcia may have reach advantage, medyo siguro a little bit on the speed, pero in terms of power and aggression and pressure, Pitbull Cruz lahat 'yun eh. So, pero ako I'm very interested in seeing that fight. I hope it happens. And then whoever wins gets Gervonta Davis, 'di ba? Para medyo maganda yung build up kay Gervonta, para maganda rin yung storyline, 'di ba? So it's going to be very interesting. Very very good fight week. Are we, ano ba may mga susunod? 'Di ba? So we got Casimero Butler, sino pa?
Meron
Ano bang
tayong Mercito Hesta, April 21st.
Ayan.
That's
Oh,
on
yeah.
the zone. So this Thursday sa atin, or baka Friday sa atin, ano ba yung 21? Basta yun.
21 is Thursday.
Thursday. So ang kalaban niya si Joel Diaz Jr. Both from Golden Boy sila, and ito yung anak ni Golden Boy, ni Joel Diaz Sr. na coach.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we got that, and then we got then of
Local
course
fights
Casimero
ba tayo?
Butler over the weekend.
Merong April 23 also, Sandman Promotions, General Santos.
Yan, go.
I'll be there.
Sandman Promotions.
I'll be there to commentate the fight. It will be headlined by Vince Paras versus Robert Paradero. So pareho silang former title challengers. It's going to be a good fight. Meron kaming live niyan for sure. So I'll just post details on my social media accounts.
Jan, make sure Sandman Promotions is making things happen, and they're very, very active. Diba? They've been holding a lot of bubble events, and we're very, very thankful. Yan, si PH Boxing Corner is able to go there and bring the action to you on your social media platform. Tapos April 23, we also have a PMAF event, okay, Philippine MMA Federation event. We are going to showcase and highlight local MMA talent. So, ang dami mangyayari. Marami na naman tayong
April
i-recap
30
for next
yata,
week.
yung East Side Fighting Challenge na ulit.
Ayun, April 30, ESFC naman. Parang 125 or 135 pounders din ata
135
uli.
Grand
35
Prix.
pounders. So it's going to be very interesting. A lot of things to look forward to. John, thank you so much for
Thank you for having me, guys.
okay. Please tell people where they can find you.
You guys, thank you for supporting the channels. We have PH Boxing Corner on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, and we'll be uploading more exclusive content once I get to General Santos. I'll fly there on Monday for the weigh-in. So Tuesday yung laban, probably around 4 p.m., 3 p.m. So I'll just post para I'll keep you guys updated.
Diba? Kitang-kita niyo yan. So, PH Boxing Corner, very, very happy to see. Ang dami ng videos. We have steady growth of subscribers. And the best part is he's getting exclusive content with the approval of the promoters. With the approval of the promoters. Diba? Wala pong nakaw na content dyan. may mga medyo naliligaw na comments eh. Nakakatawa eh. Kasasabi nga lang na okay? So, pero it's also good and bad, okay? Maganda rin naman na meron ng mga tao ngayon na sinasabing, oy, di ba? Medyo unahin muna natin yung channel ng promoter then saka mo i-repost. Kami, we don't have a problem with that. Of course,
for sure.
Di ba, we're here to serve the community. And as always, find them on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and on TikTok, PH Boxing Corner. John, thank you so much for...
Hey guys, good night.
Okay. Enjoy we will share your coverage then sa Tuesday. Okay, Sandman Promotions. John, thank you so much.
Good night, boys.
Bye-bye.
Ayun.
Okay, and as always, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in with us. We enjoyed your company. JC, where can people find you?
So, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Instagram at the JC Reyes. Destroy MNL on Facebook, and on Spotify at Anchor, and on YouTube. Soon,
Yan.
magkakaroon talaga kami ng bagong content for that. Tinatrabaho talaga namin.
Oh, Destroy MNL has been there ever since. And of course, our friend Patrick. Patrick, what's up, bro? Ano yan? Tao ito. Yung mga up-and-comers natin yan. Si Patrick RD. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and on Twitter. Just type in my name, Coach Franco Rulloda. Follow me and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, staying tuned in with us on Facebook and on YouTube. Please subscribe to this channel. Go.
Every Wednesday pala, if you're a content creator who wants to learn about video editing, para hindi na kayo nagbabayad, or nagtatry ka matuto ng video editing and, gusto mo may matutunan about that, every Wednesday, we have a show called the EMBN, on EMBN podcast called Barila ng Edits Live, where we do critique video edits of other video editors or other yung mga gumagawa ng sarili nilang content, and we give them good feedback or critiques dun sa gawa nila, where they went wrong, where they went right, para lahat tayong matututo and to improve our video editing skills.
Yung EVM podcast na yan, tsaka yung EVM show on YouTube, ako pinapanood ko yan eh. Okay? So please, okay, I enjoy watching the videos. I enjoy the insights. Sobrang, it's very short, pero ang daming lessons doon. Nakakatuwa yung project nila na JC na yun. So then, they're taking it a step further, di ba? Batuhan ng edits. The last one, lagi ba kasama si Bin doon? Pero ang ganda ng batuhan ng I love it. Okay? I love it. Bilang ako, sobrang amateur pa ako sa pag-edit ng videos, but I learn a lot from these people. So EVM. What does EVM stand for again?
Actually, it's EMVN, edit my videos now.
Ayun, edit my videos. Yan, EMVN, edit my videos. So please, tune into that YouTube channel. Subscribe and follow the JC Reyes. And everyone, thank you so much. We will see you next week on another episode of Combat Sports Weekly. Bye-bye.